Oh, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, Stranger Things, Season 5. It's interesting. It seems to be changing, ever changing. I watched the other seasons and I liked them. I heard that they were going to be splitting up the season and showing it, I thought, in two different parts. Like one at Thanksgiving, which is an American thing, and one at Christmas. And I sort of thought, well, if you're not going to do episode by episode, week to week, you should be, I guess, doing it in sections, because you don't want to just dump a whole series, because people will binge it in one go, but then it's just done in one go. You have like one weekend where people watch it, everyone talks about it, and it's gone. What I really like about TV series is that you watch them every week. You know, it's appointment television. It's extended family. It's, you sort of see these people, or go to this whatever place, that you like every week. It's like something familiar. It's regular, and comes to be part of your life, and you talk about it, and it's just part of the routine, and people talk about what happened on this show last night. That's part of TV. And when you dump it all like a movie or something, like an event, it's sort of big and you feel a whole day or whatever, but then this is done. You don't get to live with it, and you don't really grow and evolve with the characters or anything. It's just, so I do think the idea of splitting up the episodes and not just dumping them, I don't really like the binge model, is good. But the way they've done this is really weird, that technically it's 5 episodes, which if you got 8 episodes, maybe splitting it up 4 or 5 episodes in a lot, that sort of makes some sense. That's like a good evening of viewing, or a couple of days of viewing, and sort of spreading it out, that works. But if you've only got 5, it's a bit much to split it. And now they're splitting it in 3 parts, so you're getting episode 1 and 2, or is it 6 parts? They're doing it in 3, and the last one is just the final episode. And I'm like, why would you make people wait for the last episode and spread it out over weeks? It's just doesn't make a lot of sense. And then what I found out is they're talking about the budget. Everyone's talking about how the budget is over 400 million, probably 450, 480 million or something like that, which is ridiculous until you find out that they're describing each episode as like a movie, like a 90-minute to a 2-hour movie. So you're kind of getting a double episode of each episode. So you are kind of getting 10 episodes. I'm like, why not just do 10 episodes and spread it out like a TV series? They're treating it like a mini-series of movies. And I'm like, it's just, you had a format that worked. You had a TV series, people loved it. And now it's sort of morphing into like a movie event series, but you're doubling them up. I mean, why not just do a movie a week? Why not just do a movie a fortnight or a month or something? Like, why are you sort of having a double feature, and then like a final? It's like, I'm not sure people are going to receive it as well as they think. Like, it's not the Stranger Things people were expecting, or the way they'd normally have Stranger Things. It's sort of changed all the way along, and I guess people have changed with it on some level. But I'm not sure this is the best strategy. And releasing it on holidays, why would you want to compete with the holiday? People have their own Thanksgiving plans. People have their own New Year's plans. People have their own Christmas plans. Why would you want to compete with that? Why not release it in the middle of June or something, where a month where there's like no real competition and the whole world can just focus on this, instead of, focusing on Thanksgiving and New Year's and Christmas. The idea that, everyone's going to be home having a holiday, they're all going to sit around and watch Stranger Things. Maybe they might want to do something other than watch a 4-hour Netflix show. I can't see a lot of families sitting down and watching 4 hours of Stranger Things after having their turkey. So I'm not sure this is going to work as well for Netflix as they think. Now, it's going to be a hit, because there's plenty of people who don't do any of those traditional things, who are just going to watch it and not care. But a lot of the people who probably would have streamed it are going to be too busy with, their lives, because the holiday periods are some of the biggest sort of, periods that people have with their families and that. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. And just the budget, it's like Hollywood just doesn't learn. They just keep spending more money. They make less money on shows, less money on movies. There are less films that do really well, less TV shows that do really well. TV stations, ad revenues going down. And instead of making more affordable TV and making it more, not profitable, but less, they're just going even further in the opposite direction where they're spending more. It's like, oh, if we just make the biggest, most spectacular thing, everyone will watch it. And I'm like, no. The most you're going to get is, sort of the audience at the moment. And that audience is sort of spreading out and going to different platforms and different mediums. And I don't know what they're thinking, because I get that they're treating Stranger Things like, a bunch of movies. But and 50 million or so for a movie is pretty good, I guess, for a Netflix movie. But yeah, I just don't think it's going to work out as well as they think. I think overall, of course, the show's going to be a hit. People are going to watch it, but I think it could have done a lot better if they kept it to like an actual week to week TV series format and kept it in its original format. Changing the format of something, maybe you change it for the better, people like it more, but maybe you just alienate people from what they already liked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.